Yo, we're back. Last video was a bit of a rant, to a degree. Something I feel quite strongly about. I don't think this is as hard as people make it out to be. I just think people are too caught up in their own bullshit to realise that it's actually there is a better way. There is a more simple, less painful way to get out of your constant need to be feeling or addicted to feeling up here 24/7. Now, there's a load of list of things here across the board. I wanted to focus mainly on the positives because, well, that is the only way we're going to actually pull ourselves out of this shit. So, let's just talk about what it feels like to be euphoric. Anybody who's played sport will know the feeling of winning a big trophy or a big cup or putting in a shitload of work and eventually it pulling off. That type of feeling is euphoric. Like, it's a feeling you experience once in a blue moon. Unless you're at a rave smashing 5 Eckies. Then you'll feel euphoria. But if you are literally pushing, driving, working towards achieving something and you achieve it, and you've been working fucking hard for a long time, you will feel a sense of euphoria. You will feel a sense of fulfillment, achievement, accomplishment. That all ties in to that big high of life, like the ultimate high of life. Alright? To be high on life, okay, which is what I've categorised below, which I didn't really use my words properly there. Passion and growth. So when you have something that signifies that you are moving forward and you can feel yourself growing, that is where I would say you have that feeling of being high on life. If I have a month where I make a record month in business, I feel pretty high on life. If I have a game of rugby where I make a breakthrough and I don't know, you get man of the match or something, you'll be high on life, right? You've not achieved the thing you've been setting out to achieve, but you have been given a reward that says you're en route to achieving that thing. Okay. Now let's go into all the subcategories. Good, when you're feeling good, decent, okay. Actually, not just okay. You want to be above that. Good and decent. So, when you're consistently taking care of yourself, when you have direction, when you know the path you're on is one that sees long-term success and fulfillment long-term, accomplishment, achievement, etc. Consistency. When you turn up consistently, you have like a backlog of evidence in your mind that says, I am where I am because I have done what I have done for a consistent amount of time and it is paying off. This is when you then almost like lose the ability to drop below shit because you are now exactly who you said you were going to be, who you wanted to be. Okay? Because you have proven to yourself over a long period of time through consistency. Socializing. Now that does not mean with alcohol or any other form of substance. This can be playing a team sport, can be taking a dance class, can be taking a certain type of club, anything. Just get something to go out and socialise so you're still interacting with individuals, whether it be new or good friends, whatever. Make sure you are doing something to socialise because we are very social creatures. We need to be interacting with other human beings to feel fulfilled. I went through a period at the start of this year. I cut out drink. I was still going to rugby, but I was keeping myself pretty reserved. I wasn't really going drinking at all. And because I didn't drink, I wasn't even socialising, which was a problem. And the result, I ended up feeling pretty fucking miserable and lonely because I'd neglected something so important. Now, I'd stopped drinking for a period of months and very, very glad I'd done it, but what I didn't do was replace the lack of socialising with alcohol with socialising without alcohol, essentially. So, very, very important. Progress. Feeling yourself moving forward. Comes under direction, consistency, all these things. But, well, direction and consistency in particular, because without direction, you don't know that you're moving forward, and without consistency, well, you can't do fuck all. Because consistency is key. I'm gonna get a glass of water, 2 seconds. Just for dramatic effect. Ugh, it's good. Right, and then we move down. What takes us to shit and below? Looking for quick fixes, dopamine in all the wrong places. Now, I put alcohol overconsumption. I do believe alcohol has a place in society. I do believe that. I've went through many periods where I think it's a huge fucking problem, but the problem is the person, not the actual thing itself. Now, I want to get to a place where I'm drinking a handful of times a year. Will that be soon? Hopefully. Hopefully. I'm optimistic. Porn. Quite possibly the worst habit a man can endure himself in. Honestly, cutting that out was single-handedly the best thing I have done in my self-development journey. Obviously, including the below, but porn in particular was like the first huge step towards removing my constant need for fucking dopamine and overstimulation, because porn literally takes over your whole mind. Our deepest rooted motive as men, well, as humans, but men in particular, is to impress the opposite sex, right? And if you are stimulating that need to impress with fake, toxic, just horrible content like porn, fucking chugging yourself into oblivion, ripping the head off it every night, your motive to do anything decent in life depreciates significantly. It's like your fucking gold. Like your sexual desire, the want to impress the opposite sex, is your number one driving factor as a man. And if you are fucking destroying that with porn, then you're destroying your motive, you're destroying your drive, you're destroying everything that we live for as men. So, out of all the habits, if you want one that will actually single-handedly probably stimulate the rest of the improvement and the regression of all these other habits, remove fucking porn. Promise you. It is destroying your soul. Like, genuinely. If you want to start to actually push forward, you need to focus on these habits here. The top will come as where's that word? I'm gonna move on. The feelings of euphoria, achievement, fulfillment, accomplishment, at getting to that point, they come as a sub whatever. Ha! Give me that fucking word. What's the word? Byproduct! There you go. Jesus. I don't know why, I just have this thing, if I can't think of the right word I want to say, I actually can't move on from the thought until I've thought it, and then I just lose my concentration. Anyway, back to the board. Right, if you focus on these inputs here, right, self-care, direction, consistency, socializing, progress, you will, as a byproduct, feel or just get these outcomes along the way. And these are not the outcomes you want to focus on massively. You want to focus on the micro, the macro, the daily inputs, which are look after you, focus on where you're going, do what you need to do in order to get you there, and then, well, socialise to keep your fucking health, mentally and physically, I suppose, and then monitor your progress. And all these things will come in. And when you are operating in this bubble here, the graph then looks like this. Okay? This is my theory. This is me. This is my theory. Okay? It's not fucking Einstein, but it works for me. And honestly, I think it would work for most. You have a set amount of inputs that you need to put in on a daily basis that will allow you to stay in the good to okay category with the occasional feeling of euphoria and the occasional feeling of high on life. You will very rarely drop to the shit, but it will happen, and you will almost never drop to the miserable or depressed, right? I was just ill with a sick bug, stomach bug, floored for about 6 days there, and I didn't feel any less than shit. I lost some muscle, I lost weight, I didn't even get to miserable, right? I don't drop to those levels because my brain doesn't know how to anymore. It's been there and it fucking hated it, and it's worked so hard to make sure it gets above that and never goes back. And that's what you need to fucking do. You need to realise that if you want to stay away from this section here, you need to do this shit on a consistent basis and never look back. Alright? If you enjoyed that one, troops, drop a wee like and a sub. See you in the next one.